As far as motocross is concerned, we're glad you've been watching us all season long in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. If you really want to get inside the lives of these riders, you've got to check out Red Bull's MX Nation series.
I am a racer. I want to be out there and ride. It sucks for me to be at the race and not racing. Worst torture you could put a racer through.
I win as hard as I can for as long as I can. It's time.
I announced my retirement from racing professional supercross and motocross.
The other two guys that I got have some areas with even more talent.
I knew one day I would be the #1 rider at Red Bull KTM team. It's a big step for me.
Here they come. You can feel the heater coming. Muskin's got trouble in the form of Eli Tomac.
No one's going to outrun the guy right now.
Eli Tomac was so fast.
I don't expect anything less from Eli, but it's for sure beatable.
In a field that has never won a Premier Class championship, the absence of Roxon and Dungey allows a new face to claim their first 450 title.
Come on, let's go, let's go!
The final start of the season for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross is about to begin. Jason Wygant, along with multi-time motocross and supercross champion Grant Langston and Georgia Lindsay, giving you the call. 3 riders still have a mathematical shot at this championship. Let's look at the racetrack that they're going to settle this 450 national title on. It's our MX versus ATV track map.
Yeah, this is the beginning part of the lap, right off the mechanics area. Got to get a good drive up this hill over Godzilla. Big double step up, turn the corner, launch back down, 4-story drop down to the bottom there. Turn left on this Red Bull turn, and then you got to get over this massive triple step up. 450 riders are able to do it. Make this right, step back down. Then this part of the track, the wooded section, very flowing, a little bit like a roller coaster. Right, drop off, up, left, back down, you know, just left, right. Beautiful facility out here.
And we'll hop on board with the Garmin course preview. This is Ronnie Stewart off the start of our first moto earlier today.
Yeah, you can see he's a little further outside, so he's going to get pushed wide here, and he has to roll off. And then you'll just see the roost. That's why you want to get a good start. But this will give you a good appreciation of what it's like being in the middle of the pack, or maybe even further back. And
you see the Garmin gives you all the telemetry. He's pulling 3 Gs, just accelerating off the line. And in a motocross bike, there's nothing holding you onto that machine except your arms and legs, not seat belts or anything like that. So that's why these guys got to be in such good shape. Who will be in the best shape as far as the point standings are concerned? We are back here. Final race of the season for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. An hour ago, the 450 riders raced their first moto. What a battle it was. 2 Titans, Jeffrey Hurlings and Eli Tomac. Some of the best in Europe, some of the best in the United States duking it out here until Tomac goes down.
Yeah, he throws it away there. He was committed. He was going after Hurlings. Hurlings had a great pace. Tomac went back after him, but that would cost him. Then Muskin, he wanted it. He wanted all the points possible. 25 points is what he needed. He went for it, but Hurlings just a little too strong on this moto.
Yeah, midway through, Marvin had caught him. They battled. Hurlings able to get back away. And in his first try in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, the Flying Dutchman indeed flies to the moto win. So a true championship spoiler here. Muskan Baggett hold off Tomac. Georgia, what are you hearing on Tomac, your series leader, heading into the final race?
As you guys just mentioned, he did have that crash in Moto 1. I just spoke to some of the Monster Energy team members. They said he was incredibly upset and mad at himself for making a mistake that caused the crash. However, so far, the last couple of weeks, he's really been growing up as a person and been able to really come back to be the real Eli Tomac, especially after that second Moto win at the last round at Budds Creek. So he's doing good, he's positive, mad at himself, but maybe that will just give him determination and know that he really needs to kill it in this last Moto.
Is today the day that Eli Tomac finally seals the deal and wins his first championship in the Premier Class on a 450 in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Back and ready to go racing in our final moto of the year in the 450 class. Shout out to both the 81 and the 68. Henry Miller on the left, on the right. Heath Harrison, they're your Deltran Battery Tender RC Hard Charger Award winners from our last race in Maryland. They both passed the most riders of anyone out there. They passed the same exact amount, so they tied for the award. Here's your KTM keys to the moto.
All right, it's the last moto of the year, so get a good start. That makes life a lot easier. And then corner speed, Jeffrey Hurlings had shown us that earlier. If you can carry good corner speed, I'm telling you, on a track like this, you can make up a lot of time. That's where you'll get your speed, and then finish strong. Last moto, let's end with a bang. Be done with it.
This is it. Eli Tomac's chance to be crowned 450 champion. He just has to score points in this moto. He's got to not break the motorcycle, get to the finish line. If he does that, the championship is his. If he scores 1 point in this moto, he's the champ no matter what Musquin and Baggett do. But don't forget about Jeffrey Hurlings, your first moto winner. Revs are up. The gate is down for the last time this year. Hurlings a bad start. He got squeezed off, and it looks like Baggett's going to have the motorsport.com whole shot.
Yeah, Seeley in second, so good start for him. Musquin there, also near the front. Oh, I saw Tomac. Looks like he's probably just outside the top 10 there, top of your screen. But he's got some work to do. And that was Baggett's third whole shot of the year. So he wants to end the season over the back.
Seeley slipping past Musquin for second. You've also got Bisceglia in there on that yellow number 43.
Oof.
Oh, Seeley. 2 hard landings on that jump. Got the double O's from mid. Here comes Musquin to get back by.
Yeah, Seeley tried to do that step down out of the corner from the inside. Came up a little short. I thought, oh man, he's going for it. Hard landing. But hey, Georgia, what do you got on Hurlings?
It looks like he may have just had a crash with maybe the number 40 of Frederick Noren. He just rejoined the race, and he's second to last right now. So we're going to see how he's going to come through the pack. Not sure how the crash happened. Maybe we can find out.
Wow, okay. Well, I did see him probably around 12th or 13th as the pack began to close together heading into that first turn, that little kink. So maybe he got tangled up as that happened. Well, these guys are doing exactly what they need to do. Baggett and Musquin need to score max points in this moto and hope that Tomac finishes way back. And they're 1-2 right now and battling with each other.
Yeah, there's 2 guys that don't want to tangle. It's these 2 up front because they need, well, both of them want to win this moto. Only one will, but they've got to do what they can, which is in their power, which is go and win. You can't control what happens to Tomac, but it's pretty simple math. One of these guys has to win in order to win the championship. Yeah. Meaning Tomac has to not get points. But either way, half the problem is you got to win this moto. Suppose that they want it bad. They're tied for points. So
they're tied for second. Yep.
Yeah. And at the moment, they're both almost tied for the lead because they're side by side still going for it.
What an unbelievable lap it has been. Baggett on the number 4, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, NFAB, WPS KTM, and the Red Bull KTM of Musquin, who finally got the drop. Now we're going to show you where Tomac is. There comes Seeley. There comes the RCH Suzuki man. There come Webb, the 2 JGR Suzuki riders. They're still waiting. Wow, he is way back. 12th place right now. Battling with Henry Miller, the privateer on the 81, the Trigger Racing machine. So 12th would still get it done for Tomac, but it should not be this tense. Going to be tough back here, dealing with riders right in front of him and right behind him. Can he make the move on Miller? Got the 37 of Phil Nicoletti right behind him. Takes the short line on Wilson.
Well, the thing is for Tomac, obviously he doesn't want to be battling back here outside the top 10. But at the same time, you don't have to win every battle. You want to win the war. And if he stays right here, the war's done, meaning the championship. But back out front, these are the 2 warriors going after him, trying to steal that battle away. Musquin and Baggett tied for points in second, still have a mathematical chance.
But you're correct. Everything is on the line for them. They're each 24 points behind. The only way you can score 25 points is by winning a moto. So the only way either one of these guys can win the title is they have to win the moto. So only one of them actually is going to have a mathematical shot at it. It depends on who wins this one. And right now it's advantage Musquin. We chronicled Baggett's season all year long. He was on fire at mid-season, had the points lead. A crash led to a torn ligament in his thumb. He can barely hold on to that motorcycle, and it gets worse and worse every week. He has surgery scheduled Tuesday morning. He told me today it's basically at the point where the skin is basically holding his thumb together. He could bend it all the way back to his forearm. And he's got to hold on to the motorcycle now in such an unorthodox way. Under any normal circumstances, he would have had that thumb worked on. But he has to stay in it for this reason. There is a chance, it would be a miracle chance, but there is a chance the title could fall his way. So he's had to tough it out all season long.
Oh, absolutely. You got to take your hat off for that. The guy's riding with injury. It's not gotten any better. I don't think it's really gotten that much worse. You know, they were saying it's one of those things that's kind of stabilized, but it's been tough. And I said it before, but could you imagine if somehow, through a miracle, he wins this moto and something happened to Tomac? I mean, it's that crazy to think. It could happen. You know, it's 1 in a million, but there is a chance. But he would look back and go, wow, that was probably the best decision I ever made, which was don't have surgery, ride injured. Like, I know that doesn't sound like a smart decision, but as a racer, you make those calls sometime. And, you know, I think for him, the whole team, they can hold their heads up high, whether they win or lose today. It's been a fantastic season, especially for a technically non-factory team. Yes, they do get factory bikes and factory material, but they're a private team, and these guys have done some amazing things this year, and I think they've opened a lot of eyes and impressed a lot of people, and I think that's, you know, a lot to be said right there. But a championship would just, I mean, that's something that can never be taken away from you. You know, to win in this day and age with so much competition, so many top riders, it would be huge. I mean, it would be absolutely huge, and you never just know if you'll ever have another chance. I mean, some guys, they're one and done. Not saying anyone here, but you just never know what next year brings. Yep. It's life. It's racing. Anything can happen. A lot of times it does. But Musquin, he's doing what he knows he has to do. I have to win this moto. And, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't wish anything bad upon him, but I'm sure Marvin doesn't want Eli to crash out. I'm sure he'd be happier if it was more of a mechanical, but if there was something like that, wow, things would change dramatically.
Tomac is up to 9th place now, so a little more padding as far as the points are concerned. He would have to finish outside of the top 20 today for Musquin to steal the title. But Marvin's doing everything he can do. He's going to try to win the overall and the moto in the last race of the year. At Sport, the Crandon World Cup, Saturday, October 14th on NBC. I will be there myself. That's a great event. Crandon World Cup. That's the best of the best in off-road racing. We're watching the best of the best in motocross here. And worlds colliding today with Jeffrey Hurlings coming from the World Grand Prix circuit in Europe. And he has passed Eli Tomac on his march through traffic, pushing Tomac back to 10th. Hurlings, who is down early in this moto. Tomac is trying to cling to the championship. 10th place would get it done. He has to roll this jump because riders are down. Sam Redmond and Phil Nicoletti were both down on the landing to that triple. Hope those guys are okay. Now the riders are able to jump, and once they get past the danger there. 10th place, not the way Tomac would have drawn it up, but it will get the job done if he can just stay here with 20 minutes and 2 laps to go for the season. He has to go outside of the top 20 to lose the title.
And that's the key, and it's so hard to try and push, I think, in Eli's situation, especially in the first moto. You could tell he felt good. He went after Hurlings, wanted to go and win in style, probably like how Osborne was, but there's just some days it's tough. You've got to try and mentally tell yourself to just back it down a little bit. And speaking of Hurlings, after he went down the first moto at commercial break,
first turn, he made the pass on Tomac coming through right here.
Yeah, look,
he's on the left.
Yeah, he scrubs this jump. Then watch this. Carol, look, scrub. Ooh, little intimidation right there.
Yeah,
but
little mustard on the pass.
Yeah, exactly. Threw extra mustard on that one. But and then gets the inside, just rails that turn and pulled a bit of a gap. So yes, you could say, oh, Tomac, some people are going to say maybe he's struggling or choking, but well, he's doing fine. He's doing what he has to do right now. And championship points is the biggest thing at the moment, and as long as he's got the points, he's got 10 points in hand. So in other words, Kurt's word is he could lose 9 positions and be okay.
Yep, and he's working on another position right now as he tries to pass Barsha for 9th. And as for Tomac versus Hurlings, Tomac will have his chance next weekend when the championship that Hurlings competes for, the World Grand Prix Championship, comes to the United States in Florida, and Tomac is scheduled to race that event. So if you're anywhere near Jacksonville, Florida, and the Double W Ranch, you might want to check that out, because then Tomac will be the one that doesn't have to worry about points, and we'll see what he can do. But right now, he's got business to take care of, and he's going after Barsha, and he takes away 9th. We continue to watch. This is the Hurlings watch as he keeps going forward. He's got around Webb. That is 5th. He's now going for 4th. We are not even halfway through this moto. How far through can he climb? And by the way, he's only about 15 seconds behind your leader, Marvin Musquin. Can he still make a run for the win today?
Wow, that'd be a tall order, but I tell you what, I think the way he's going, 3rd is pretty reasonable expectation at the pace he's going. But like you said, tons of racing to go.
Watching Craig and Pike battling it out right now, the 48, the factory Honda, and Pike on the JGR Auto Trader Suzuki. Here is Hurlings just up the road from them. He's trying to get around Bogle. This would now be for fourth. Bogle is last week's winner at Budds Creek. Hurlings running the outside, going to get a great drive down this long straight.
Oh, he looks good through there, and this is where he got Tomac just a couple laps ago. He now scrubs it. He's got the inside on Bogle, so Bogle's not going to have much chance of fighting back if Hurlings just nails that inside, which he's been doing. Hurlings really good in those deep ruts of getting in and out without losing a lot of momentum. Somehow, even for a bigger guy, a taller guy in motocross, when I say taller guy, he's probably 5'10", but or 5'11" maybe, but he uses his body to his advantage as well. He's light where he needs to be, and he throws the bike when he needs to. So very effective with taking the bike, his body size and structure, and making it work.
And one thing you mentioned in our practice show, we watched him putting in fast laps in qualifying. He said gets on the gas early. Midway through the corner, he's already on the throttle again. Yeah,
he's just on the gas just a little bit earlier than a lot of the riders. And I think if you go back and look over, you know, say the last 10, 20 years, at least since I've really been focusing and watching racing, is the Europeans have typically been better at cornering, and the Americans have been better at staying low and jumping, scrubbing, and all that. Well, things have been changing because you've got more European flavor over here. You've got Muskin, you've got Roxon, you've got, well, now Hurlings doing this one-off race. But guys get to see that, they watch it, and then when you go look at someone like Hurlings and a lot of the top Europeans, they've gotten really good at staying low and scrubbing. What we used to say was, you know, they're bringing that sort of supercross technique into it. So the playing field is very even for all these guys as far as, you know, their strengths and weaknesses. And, well, we'll get a good start, but we'll get a chance to have a look at the whole shot replay.
You can see him get buried here. We'll give you the motosport.com whole shot replay. This is why he has to come through traffic. You can see him on the left in the KTM, four riders from the side. He gets bumped around, and then he's buried in the pack. Baggett is going to grab your motosport.com whole shot on the number 4, right ahead of Seeley and Muscan. I don't know if we can see Hurlings.
Hurlings will be on your left-hand side of the screen. He's right there on the tip. You can tell that gear, it's got the red. You'll see him coming there, in the middle of the screen
still
now.
in the middle, so he's okay at that point. But somewhere he ended up going down. It was about last, and has climbed all the way up to 4th. 17 seconds behind your leader, Marvin Muscan. Halfway through this moto, 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go. In 15 minutes, you can save 15% on your insurance by calling Geico. But how is this moto going to end? For a brief moment, Baggett put in another run on Muscan, got it to about 3 seconds. Now it's 4.5. Muscan 0.3 of a second quicker than Baggett the last time around. The very friendly Frenchman doing everything he can, scoring maximum points, trying to win the moto in the overall, and hoping that Tomac has trouble.
Opening round jitters in the 450 class. A lot of guys still dealing with that, no matter who you are.
Let's go racing in Hangtown. Eli Tomac wins the first moto of the year.
Look at Baggett. Oh, what an amazing move. Oh, that's Craig. Was that Craig?
Oh, no. Justin Bogle wins his first ever. Marvin Muscan wins his first career 450. Oh, Tomac down. Deep Ferris going for the lead. And Blake Baggett has his second straight overall win.
You know,
Marty!
Doing.
Whoa!
Adios.
Oh, and Baggett goes down. And Marvin Muscan wins here at Washougal. Justin Bogle wins the overall for the weekend for the first time in his career. Muscan has got an issue, and he is shaken up. Eli Tomac is back on top. Eli Tomac wins again. Redbud is all about Eli Tomac. Eli Tomac wins the second moto today here at Budds Creek. And it was that second moto win last week in one of the most dynamic 450 championships we've ever seen that might allow Tomac to hang on to this championship. Here he is right now battling it out with Justin Bogle. That would be for 8th place. 8th place is not normally where Eli Tomac wants to be, but it would be enough to win the championship today. If he could just stay in the top 20, he's got it. He just picked up another spot. That would be 7th around Bogle.
Yeah, still not a great day overall for Tomac, but of course, once that checkered flag flies, even if he stays where he is or loses a spot, it's going to be a great day because all that will be erased based on the championship. Championship is the big picture. It's what riders want to win. It's what you're remembered for. It's what you're known for. He's won just about everything, you know, on 250s. But when it comes to the 450, he's come close in Supercross. He's led the outdoor championship.
Trying to get around Craig right now. Craig on that red Honda, and then just in front of him, the yellow Suzuki of Pike. That is 6th and 7th. So Tomac is 8th. Got to be careful here. Don't run into these guys. 10 minutes and 2 laps to go for the season. Tomac, your 2013 champion of the 250 class. In 2015, started the year off absolutely on fire on the 450s. Won the first 5 motos going away. Was leading the 6th moto of the season. And then a vicious crash. Ended up tearing rotator cuffs on both shoulders. He was back racing last year. Didn't like to make an excuse, but he was just not quite the same rider a year ago. Finished 2nd in the series to Ken Roczen. Roczen out this year with an arm and wrist injury. A lot of people picked Tomac to win this title coming in. He went 1-1 at the opening round of the season in Sacramento. It's making it look simple at that point, but it certainly got complicated. Had bike problems at round 2, had some crashes, some subpar rides. Baggett at the points lead, Musquin at the points lead. They went back and forth. But right now, Tomac is in position for it. He gets around Craig. Can he hold the spot as they jump downhill?
He might have it or he might not, but that was a very creative line there from Tomac. Came in from the outside, hopped over a few ruts to get to that inside once Craig had committed to that outside.
And Tomac trying to make passes without forcing the issue.
Yeah, you don't want to start scrapping at this point of the day. At this point, whether you finished 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th, the big picture doesn't really matter. It's got nothing more to do with what it looks like on paper. He still wouldn't be happy with a 6th anyway, because what's he in now? 7th. So even if he gets Pike, he'll be off the podium for the day. It'll leave him around 6th overall. He might bump Webb if he can make that pass, but like we keep saying, the big picture, championship, championship, championship.
Musquin leading Baggett. Hurlings still 15 seconds back in 3rd after coming from about last. Pretty impressive charge there, I'd say. 4th is Seeley, then Webb, Pike, and Tomac. So Webb and Pike are now right there in front of Tomac. Eli can only slow up so much. He even admitted the last couple of rounds he was trying to ride a little more defensive. It wasn't working, so if his pace is bringing him to these guys, he's going to have to try to pass them, which is probably a little scary also.
Yeah, and that comes back to when I said you don't want to start scrapping it. I more mean like you don't want to get in battles or get in something personal with someone else. Keep the passes clean, keep your pace going the same way, do your thing. Just don't hang it out because truthfully, it would take one mistake or a crash to throw you on the ground and, you know, things could change from there. So it's very difficult at this point. You know, you want to move forward. In Tomac's mind, he's like, I'm better than this. I can go faster. I need to pick it up. I got to charge. And then the other part of his brain's telling him, you don't actually need to. Yes, today didn't turn out maybe how you wanted, but we're still going to win this championship. You know, that's the big goal. That's the big picture. So he's probably having a lot of conversations with himself right now.
Sometimes that's the exact opposite of what you want to do. Not able to ride that instinct right now. He's got to be a thinking man's racer as he closes up Pike. Still has Craig, who's 8th place right behind him. Pike is 6th in the 32. Here goes Musquin. All right, so Musquin has it up to 6.3 seconds on Baggett. Hurlings is a little bit quicker than Baggett and Tomac, or sorry, Baggett and Musquin right now, about 1 second a lap faster. Musquin's got a lap to Dakota Tedder. But they've got a pretty good gap over Hurlings, so that 1 second to lap the Hurlings are making up. That won't be enough for him to challenge those two. But still very impressive what Hurlings able to do today, winning the first moto, fastest in both qualifying sessions. But Marvin Musquin can't worry about that. He can't worry about anything but doing his best in this race. It's going to be bittersweet, though, for Marvin. If it ends this way, he's going to lose the title by about a dozen points. And there are multiple times in this championship that he's going to be able to look back on and see Yeah, I could have made up a dozen points right there. He had a mid-season knee injury. Did pretty well considering that, but a big crash at Southwick, that cost him a lot. Here's your overall points for the day. Hurling's been up second overall when we combine both races. Baggett third. Sealy fourth, and Cooper Webb be fifth overall. Georgia, what are you hearing and seeing?
It's such a tough situation for Marvin Musquin because throughout the season, his riding has been so great on the 450 that he expects so much from himself. And speaking to the team, they said even this morning he was kind of mad and really frustrated and really wanted to be winning and be in a place to win the championship. But you've got to think, coming into the 450 season, Brian Dungey retired right at the beginning, who was his former teammate. All the pressure then went on to Marvin Musquin. However, in that time, he's still got his first ever moto win and overall podium in the 450 class, and second overall or possibly third overall in the championship. He can't be too upset with that.
Well, that was the big question when the season began in our very first segment of the year. Eli Tomac is the favorite. Ryan Dungey, the team leader of Red Bull KTM, was out. Could Marvin Musquin fill those shoes? Could he step up? Probably not going to get the title from Tomac, but he certainly has stepped up the game.
Yeah, absolutely. His riding, his intensity, his being a leader, I think it's been awesome. I mean, if you go look at it, everyone can say, oh, well, you know, he had a mechanical, but, you know, so did Tomac.
Yep.
Whether it's incidental or whatever, they both had an issue there. Marvin may look back and think about that crash from Southwick because you could say, he could say, oh, the bike isn't working that well that day or this or that. But as a racer, you're going to look back and think, that was one thing I had control of and I let it slip. And crashes happen because everyone's pushing. But he may look at that one going, oh, if I just didn't do that. There comes Baggett. Baggett's probably going, well, if it just wasn't for Jason Anderson taking my front end out, I could have been champion.
Yeah, it was one incident at Redbud, second moto there, first lap, and Baggett ended up on the ground. Here is Hurlings in third.
Man, he is coming.
Yeah, he is slowly.
What do you mean slowly? That last lap was a little bit different.
Yeah, because Baggett has slowed down dramatically. Baggett was doing 2:09. Last time around, Hurlings made up 1 second. The next lap, Hurlings made up 4.
Yeah, he just, the way he's just chunked out of that lead.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's got a shot at it.
He's gonna catch Baggett. Baggett either has to pick it up or Hurling's gonna get him. And then how frustrating is Hurling's gonna feel? He's gonna get second overall, so on paper it's gonna look like, yeah, he rode pretty good.
I know.
But he's gonna be going, did you see the race? I won the first one, and then the second one I went down, I came through the whole pack. If it was old school GPs where it's 40 minutes plus 2 laps, he'd be like, I had a chance. I would have still won.
So yeah, he's going to try to upset Baggett here and make a late pass. Could be another KTM sweep in these motos. These guys were top 3 in the first race earlier today. And some people were wondering, would Hurlings work to help the Red Bull KTM teammate of his, Musquin? There wasn't much he could do because Musquin was down 30 points coming into today. And he didn't help him. He won the first moto over Musquin. So these guys are all racing for themselves today, and they all want to beat each other. Let's see if Hurlings can do it. Can he catch Baggett?
Man, he is flying.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say yes, because I'm watching right now. He looks so strong, and his corner speed is phenomenal. And any aspiring kids who want to learn how to corner, take a page out of this guy's book. His center, what I like to say, the slowest point of the turn, right when you release a brake before you get on the gas, that little dead spot. He is probably a mile or 2 an hour quicker through every corner than everyone else at that, you know, that dead zone where you're off the brake before you get on the gas. Wow.
Yeah, he's doing it right here. And that leads to tremendous exit speed out of these corners, and he has caught Baggett in a hurry. Man, and now we are down to 2 minutes and 2 laps left. Gap, we don't even need a stopwatch anymore. The gap is basically nothing. He is ready to challenge Baggett and take second. What a charge from down to the first lap. Impressive. Wow. First time he's ever raced in this series. A lot of different things to adjust to and get used to, and he just pulled the trigger.
That was just rude right there. He didn't even invite himself up the inside. He just made it happen. That was unbelievable. Remember I was saying about standing? So he kept the bike light and then just got the power to the ground at the exit. That is just a impressive pass on an impressive rider. Yes, he's got a thumb injury, but Hurling's just showing a little bit of the GP flavor. And at some of those turns where it's getting really, really deep and nasty, he's able just to stay a little bit lighter or stand a little bit deeper
And Hurlings, that might be it for his charge. He's made it all the way up to second, but he's 10 seconds behind Musquin, so we'll focus back on Eli Tomac, who is on the championship run. He's made it up to 6th. He's got around Pike. You saw him pass Craig. Now Cooper Webb right in front of him in 5th on the Yamalube Chaparral Monster Energy Yamaha. Past the mechanics area. Tomac is about 5 minutes away from locking down that elusive first 450 championship. Moved up to the class of 2014. Had some injuries in his rookie year. 2015, like we said, was dominant to begin the series and then crashed hard. And it was the end of his season right there at round 3. Last year, not quite the same rider coming back from those injuries. Had to adjust to that monster Kawasaki. He had been a long-time Honda rider. He has put it together here. He had to silence the doubters. He had to prove that he can lock one of these titles down. As you had mentioned, he's led the points several times in a 450 championship. Even did it this year in Supercross, but did not end up winning the title. And then had the points lead right from the get-go this year. He's had some tough moments that he's had to persevere through. Here's, I think, the one piece of bad news for everyone else. If Tomac locks this down, once he finally gets that monkey off his back, it's going to be a whole lot easier to win more of these. So they had their chance to stop him, but he's got it in control right now.
Oh, he sure does. And he looks like he's loosened up a little bit in this moto. He's not pushing it. He's riding. This looks like he's at his practice track, you know, just putting the laps in, going through the motions, meaning just being Eli Tomac. Whether he gets Cooper Webb or not, he knows he doesn't have to. He probably, you know, he obviously would want to. It always sounds good on paper, but it's not necessary, so he's just going to go at his pace. But in the back of his mind, he keeps just reminding himself, the championship is just 2 laps away.
Oh, Musquin, your leader is down. Musquin is down. Now, how much of a lead does he have?
just went by.
Did Hurlings just pass him? Yes, Hurlings is in the lead from essentially last. That is the overall. And now there, by the way, is no chance for Tomac to lose the championship because Musquin had to win the moto. I cannot believe this. Hurlings is now looking at a 1-1.
Oh, yeah, 1-1. Sorry,
He won
I
the
just
first
forgot.
moto.
He just passed Baggett. I was about to say, where's Baggett? I'm like, oh, he just passed me.
Wow, Marvin has thrown it away with a lap and a half remaining, and Hurlings is looking at basically a last to first in this race. What happened here?
Oh, gets a little loose there. Oh. What?
Wow. He looked like he totally had that saved.
I was going to say, he had it saved, and then he didn't.
Yeah, that is bizarre. And all by himself, he had about a 10-second lead by the time Hurlings got to second. All right, so Hurlings looks like he's going to put his name in the record book as an overall winner in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. The 22-year-old Dutchman, everything he had to adjust to, the completely different race format, the different type of track prep. Oh, Marvin's not done. Marvin's still charging back there. He's got to be so angry with himself.
Oh, you know he is.
And for sure, Marvin knows he has to win the moto to have any chance of the title. Now,
no, he knows that, yeah.
Yes, so he doesn't maybe know where even Tomac is. He knows he has to go for it.
Marvin is riding like someone just pickpocketed him. He is really frustrated.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying. Hurling's just running the pace that he used to come from, I don't know where it was, almost last, pretty much last, to come all the way to now first place. But on this last lap, Marvin is going to give it everything he has to try to cling to championship hopes. It's not really going to matter, but I don't know if Musquin knows that. Tomac is in 6th. Even if Marvin wins the moto, he's not going to win the title, but he's got to at least give himself a chance.
Yeah, I think Marvin just wants to win this moto and win the overall, regardless of whatever else happens. And he is pushing, and so is Hurlings.
Hurlings doesn't want to give it up now. This is the section right here where Marvin went down. That was a bizarre crash. It just shows how quickly anything can happen. As for Jeffrey Hurlings, the plan was just to come to the U.S. a week before next weekend's World Grand Prix of the USA in Florida, just to go to Florida and actually get a chance to hang out, ride and train with this man, Marvin Musquin. The idea of racing here, he only decided a few days ago, only had one quick day of testing on the American version of this KTM bike that's actually Trey Kennard's machine. Kennard announced his retirement at mid-season, so his bike was still in the KTM truck. They threw a few of Hurling's parts on there. Runs different tires, for example. Runs the Pirellis instead of the Dunlops that the rest of the KTM riders use over here. So a few things to get used to. Whatever he had to adjust to, he's proven a quick study. and it's beginning to look like he is indeed going to sweep it and go 1-1. Marvin's trying, though.
Yeah, it's not from a lack of trying. Frustrating for Marvin to throw it away that way, but for Hurlings, you got to look at it and go, hey, you can't take anything away from this guy. He's come out, really put on a show for the fans, for all of us. He's made it entertaining. And he's really adapted very quickly, very well to this US scene. And Marvin's still putting the pressure on, but the problem is time has pretty much expired.
Oh, Marvin is doing everything he can, but this is going to be the checkers right here. Jeffrey Hurlings has conquered Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. He goes 1-1 at the Ironman National, and Marvin Musquin is going to come up short. He needed the moto win. He had it. He threw it away, and with that second place finish, it's over. He's not going to be able to score enough no matter what Tomac does, but Eli is going to bring it home in 6th place, and this 6th place finish will be enough. Probably not the gap he wanted to work with today, but it's going to be more than enough to wrap up that elusive first 450 class championship. And the Monster Kawasaki team is going to be happy. This was the guy they tabbed. This team has won a lot of races. They had Ricky Carmichael, they had James Stewart, Jeff Emmett, Jeff Ward, all the superstars who have come through the ranks. Yes, and then Ryan Villapoto, when he retired, that was a huge void to fill. It's up to Eli Tomac to do it. And finally, he has reached the top of the mountain. The 24-year-old Cortez, Colorado native is your new Lucas Oil Pro Motocross 450 class champion. Eli Tomac has done it.
What a season. You can tell it's like a relief for him. Tomac, your 2017 champion. And one day he's going to look back at this and go, man, it wasn't the easiest of championship wins. I had to earn this one. There was a lot of trials and tribulations and issues, but what a way to get it done.
Oh, massive relief and weight off the shoulders as he has conquered it and gotten that 450 championship, a long-awaited one. There's Mike Williamson from the team. Bruce Sternstrom hands over the #1 plate. And the celebration can finally begin for Eli Tomac's lifelong journey to conquer Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship is brought to you by Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save on motorcycle insurance. And by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. Eli Tomac is ready for his close-up on the big stage. After establishing a championship pedigree in the 250 class, Eli was a contender the moment he made the jump to the Premier Division. But it's almost as if those past successes have worked against him. He would enter each season with considerable hype, but lose the titles to Ryan Dungey and Ken Roczen, despite winning races along the way. That has led to whispers of his ability to take the final steps and reach the sport's ultimate prize.
Oh, no! Huge crash! Tomac is down, and he's not getting up.
This entire championship has been completely thrown upside down.
Tomac trying to get around Josh Grant, went off the track. And
is there a problem with the bike?
I mean, this is championship-type material stuff right here.
Absolutely. It's fitting that the 24-year-old Colorado native would clinch his first championship at a race known as the Ironman. His reputation for fitness and a desire to outwork his competitors is nothing short of legendary. Eli Tomac wins the second moto today here at Budds Creek. With over 20 career victories and a championship in each class, Eli Tomac has shed his doubters and appears ready to step to center stage and become America's next great motocross champion.
What a way to end the 2017 season in the 450 race, bringing it down to the last moto. Eli Tomac here to present the #1 450 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship #1 plate. Mike Pelletier, the AMA racing manager.
Eli, what a great season it's been, man. Congratulations to you and your team, Monster Energy Kawasaki. On behalf of the American Motorcyclist Association and MX Sports Pro Racing, it gives me great pleasure to present you with the 2017 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship 450 #1 plate. Congratulations, man.
Eli Tomac we just said, talk about putting more and more pressure on yourself after the first moto going down and having to make the decision and take the championship in the second moto. What was going through your head and how did you deal with that pressure?
That was not easy at all. I mean, I went back and I was just like, man, is this day really going like this? And I don't know. I guess I let my ego get the best of me in that first moto, and you know, needed to really take it all in there between the moto and get our head in the right spot. So went out there, did what we could, but this is just a lifelong dream and goal. Finally, you know, that's come true, and just kind of lost the words right now.
I will let you celebrate. Huge congratulations to Eli Tomac getting his first ever 450 title.
Much of a thrill as it is a relief there to get this done the way the day had started.
Oh, you can tell the relief. I mean, I think he's holding back some of those tears. He knows right now he is the champion. He won the war. Hurlings won the battle today. Hurlings was on fire. But the big thing, Tomac got it done. He silenced the critics. Let's have a look at the race recap.
Yep, Lucas Oil going to bring you this. So your battle early on is Marvin Musquin and Blake Baggett. Both of them had to win the moto to stay in title contention, so they were fighting hard for it. Finally, the 25 of Musquin would secure the lead. Then he would have to hope that Tomac had a bad race and finished outside the top 20. That wouldn't happen. Tomac got to 6th, and then late, Marvin throws it away with victory in sight.
Yeah, that was strange. He saved it after he cased that jump, and then that right there throws it away. Watch on the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see Jeffrey Hurlings get him right there. And that was an impressive ride from Hurlings, but that also eliminated.
Yeah, any chance that Marvin would have in winning the title. As for Hurlings, he started this race on the ground, about last, past probably 38, 39 riders or so to win the moto. Tomac would come across in 6th, and that was enough to ice the championship. He said his ego got in the way in the first moto. He tried to battle Hurlings. He crashed, almost threw it all the way right there. He was able to persevere. You see the results. Hurlings gets the moto win over Musquin. Baggett, Sealy, Webb, top 5. Pike right behind Tomac. Here's the rest of the top 20. We're going to sort it all out of the podium. Here's Georgia once again.
Jeffrey Hurlings coming in, taking the first moto win, second moto going from dead to last, or second to last, taking the win for yourself. I mean, how does this feel? First ever pro race in America, and you take the overall.
You know, I was fastest all day. I was fast in each practice, first moto, also second moto. Man, I was so pissed at myself when I crashed with the start, and I had to start that last second moto. I was like, no way, I had it. So I just kept charging. I fight my way back all the way to first. You know, I was a bit lucky with Marvin having a small crash, but doesn't matter. I had a 1-1, and I showed I was the fastest guy on track, 100%.
Congratulations, Jeffrey Hurlings, taking the first overall of his ever first pro race in the USA.
And yes, he is your overall winner. He'll be racing in Florida next weekend, the MXGP, the USA. Tomac will be there. Cooper Webb will be there. Justin Barcia, a couple of the American riders that will try to challenge him in his series. Musquin second, Baggett third today. Let's go back to Georgia.
Marvin Musquin, what an absolute season for you. You were the only person on the team. You did your first overall moto, first overall win. That last moto, though, the crash, we saw it on TV. It looked horrendous. How are you doing after that, and how did you get back up from it?
I felt great today. Good battle with Jeffrey in the first moto, and the second moto I was able to get into the lead and feel more comfortable on the bike and on the track. And I was not pushing too hard. I was trying to be smooth and get good speed. And Blake Baggett was behind, and I knew I had to get in front of him to have a chance of second in the championship. And that was the goal today. I mean, it would have been, very, very bad luck for Tomac not to win the championship today. But anyway, I really wanted to win the overall today, get in front of Baggett, get second in the championship. I got second in the championship, but I didn't win today because of a mistake. And I had a good gap by the end. I knew Jeffrey was fast, but I had it, and only 2 laps to go. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good drive, and I still wanted to go over that double, and I bounced and lost balance and went out of control and unfortunately crashed. It was a big bummer because I felt great and I really wanted to get that last win, of the championship. But congratulations to Eli Tomac and also Blake Baggett. It was a great year. Like you said, been winning some races, and that was the goal. So thanks everybody, all the fans, friends, family, and we'll see you next year, and thank you everybody.
Congratulations to Marvin Musquin. The other side of me, we have Blake Baggett. Now, Blake, the end of the season for you with a thumb injury. You got through it, but you can get it fixed. Are you proud of how you got through that?
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, I thought it was over 6 rounds ago, so tried to just grunt it out and push off surgery. So I just wanted to be there at the end and put the Rocky Mountain ATV WPS KTM as far towards the front as I could and be in the title hunt to the end. So we took it down to the last moto and ended up 3rd, but you know, I gave it my best shot, and I'll go get my thumb fixed and be back for Supercross.
Best of luck with surgery, and congratulations, 3rd overall, Blake Baggett.
Upcoming schedule of a recap show coming up for this event, and also season recap September 6th and 15th. And don't forget the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Amateur National coverage on NBCSN November 11th and 23rd, December 23rd. Final margin of victory, Marvin Musquin 17 points down on Eli Tomac. Blake Baggett down 19. A lot of what-ifs for those guys, but there's only one thing that matters for this man. Eli Tomac, your new champion. Thanks for watching, and congrats to him.